Happy Arvo. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing? So, I made reference to the Australian film industry yesterday, saying that, at least anecdotally, it feels like it's kind of booming right now. To me as an American, I don't know. I just see all this media out of Australia. At least it seems that way. Like I mentioned just the other day, my wife wanted to watch a horror movie, Talk to Me, and it's like, oh, this is Australian. You know, the whole thing is Australian. The people are Australian. It's based in Australia. There's even a roadkill kangaroo, which was a horrifying scene. But it's like, oh my God. Which, by the way, that was really disturbing. It was like, wow, that actually does happen in Australia. Like, I knew that happens, but seeing it, it's like, that is really sad. I don't like that imagery. But anyway, it made for a good horror scene. Anyway, it just got me thinking about the Australian film industry. And I looked it up, and basically, well, I found this video. You know, this is what was on my mind. Australia's film industry, boom, behind the news. Oh, apparently this is like an ABC affiliated thing, which beware, they are an Australian public broadcast service, guys. Check them out, link down below. Yeah, I just want to learn more about it. I don't know, it's interesting to me.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
No, I won, easily.
Doesn't sound right.
Whether they make us laugh, jump, or cry. There's no denying the magic of movies. But while the magical movie-making land, also known as Hollywood, might seem like a world away from the comfy couches of Australia,
It is an interesting thing. I mean, that's definitely becoming less and less so, the magic land of Hollywood, because all of the technology and equipment has been so democratized, you know, the access to it. It's so easy to get access to cameras and stuff like that nowadays. At the same time, it is interesting, like the network effects of being in, you know, Hollywood still is a very powerful film industry because that's just where you go. If you want to be an actor, if you want to film movies, if you want to do the gaff stuff, you go to Hollywood, at least here in America. So it ends up still being the central hub of it all. Anyway, like they're not filming movies here in Indiana, unfortunately.
these worlds aren't actually so far apart.
Yeah, I mean, Australians have been infiltrating Hollywood for forever, right? Half of Hollywood actually secretly is Australian.
In fact, a lot of what you just saw was made right on our doorstep. Hollywood's been making movies here for decades. Sometimes it's cheaper than other locations, other times it's just the right setting or scenery.
I didn't even think about Hollywood making movies in Australia. Okay.
You know what to do! You know, PlayStation!
But recently, there's been another reason. COVID. Or a lack of COVID, to be precise. America hasn't been doing too well keeping its cases down. In fact, it's the reason lots of movies that were set for release last year were delayed.
We all have our secrets.
One day, James Bond. One day. But here in Australia, things are much better. And some reckon that's why our movie industry is booming.
How interesting is that? The ramifications of like COVID precautions and stuff. It's interesting. I never would have even thought of that. This is 4 years ago. Was COVID really that long ago? Oh my God. Every time I see like how long ago COVID was, it blows my mind. But COVID was 5 years ago. Damn.
In Queensland, a record 39 movies have signed up to be made here since 2020.
And I feel like it also goes the other way too. Like some movies are filmed in Australia, produced in America, or they're filmed in America and produced. Like, wasn't Mythbusters produced in Australia, or like edited in Australia? That's pretty cool. Because they would film it and then send it over to you guys, and while they're over here sleeping, you guys are awake. Pretty cool.
It includes some big blockbusters like Baz Luhrmann's Elvis epic shooting on the Gold Coast. And over in Sydney, there are a bunch of Marvel movies coming up, like the sequels to Black Panther
My son, it is your time.
and Captain Marvel. And that'll mean a lot more work for these guys too. Rising Sun is a visual effects studio in Adelaide, which adds the magic to lots of famous movies.
Interesting, you know. What is it about Australia? You guys are just very, like, artistic and technical. You know, because you guys also have a lot of successful, like, indie video game startups, I think, happening now. You guys are just, you know, you're doing a good job down under, guys. Keep it up. Pretty impressive.
Sometimes literally.
You know,
But visual effects, I mean, that's not easy.
Severus Snape, he'll just do his little flick.
Avada Kedavra.
We add all the magic. There's a scene with the chestnuts getting roasted by a dragon outside the sweet shop. That was us. So we make the dragon, design the dragon, animate it.
Wow. So have you been working on more Hollywood movies lately?
With COVID and the pandemic recently, you know, we were pretty unaffected in Australia because of the, you know, we fared pretty well in the world. So we found that we didn't stop working at all.
That's awesome. I particularly am interested in that part because I used to do a lot of like visual effects and stuff back in the day. You know, I've had a lot of YouTube channels over the days, guys. This is actually my most viewed video ever. 53 million views.
Big lad.
But I animated these Pokemon. You know? I mean, it's real life Pokemon adventure. Damn, look how young I am. She. So you knew this was gonna get a lot of views, right? I knew it. But it's just like, yeah.
The film industry brings in billions of dollars a year to Australia's economy and employs thousands of people. But sometimes you have to spend money to make money. And
That's for sure. That's a whole nother topic right there. You gotta invest in yourself, guys. This is now a financial topic, financial video. You gotta invest in yourself, guys. Go to college or start a business.
last year, the government invested an extra $400 million into
Damn.
luring Hollywood filmmakers here.
And now Trump is super pissed about it, right? He's trying to like tariff foreign films or some shit. I saw him say that. It's like, what does that mean? What the hell does that mean? He's like, we want movies made in Hollywood. It's like, if you're having to like pay to have them not made elsewhere, then that seems like that's not good, you know? Hopefully they're made in Hollywood just because Hollywood's a good place to do it. Not because you're paying to suppress other countries.
Here. Victoria's government has also put $46 million towards building this in Melbourne, one of the biggest sound stages in the whole world, complete with
Damn.
a 900,000
You guys are also big into like theater and, you know, orchestra and stuff. You guys are just artsy.
litre, 4.5 metre deep pool. Why? To film a sinking submarine, of course, or an epic underwater shark scene, or whatever.
All
That
the
is so
world's a
cool.
stage, then it's Melbourne's turn to shine.
Of course, it won't just be Hollywood movies made here. Aussie productions are welcome too. And some say they'd like to see more money spent on those, featuring more of our own talent and our own stories. But many are just happy to see our shores stealing scenes on the silver screen.
What is that? Where the Wild Things Are. I saw that one. Interesting. That was fun. I just enjoy the subject, you know. And Bluey, of course, another giant thing out of Australia. You guys are just killing it, you know. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a really good. I don't know. I think it's really good for your national GDP. I think it's a really good industry to be in because it scales. You know, it's all inherently just so scalable. You make a good movie and. Well, the entire English-speaking world can watch it and pay to watch it. So I think it's good. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.